plus and the plus minus, like contributed something well and, did something positive and found ways to win in every way possible. So it just feels different. You know what I mean? I really don't have a word for it, but I think it's just find effort and competing, and I think that's the biggest thing it made, whether it's through shots, through stops, through knowing to play, through denying somebody a basketball, hustling back on defense. We dove on the ball like 3 different times in one possession. Like, that's what's going to take, and to get a win like tonight, it's pretty solid. We can continue to build on that as well.
I think this might be connected to that. The end of the first half, I think that you guys looked a little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
And then I noticed fourth quarter game's pretty close. You're like smiling. You're like, soccer kicking the ball next to some fans and joking around with people. Like in a close game, I haven't seen you guys maybe smile.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like I said, it feels different. This second quarter, we kind of got into slowing the ball down, we couldn't figure out. We were calling something on the court. Everybody else, staff was calling something different. So it was miscommunication, and that happens. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say it doesn't happen. I think that was the biggest thing. And we all came in as a group. It wasn't just on one person. It wasn't just on the player. It was on the coach. We came in like, look, this is do what we do, and run our stuff. And they did a good job of trying to take us out of that. That's why they're really good, and they're the number 1 seed. And but for us, we came back in the huddle and let's just execute the way we had been, and continue to do what we do. And that's what you saw in the second half. And then late game, it's just knowing where guys are going to be, knowing what they're going to be in. If you want to blitz me, you can, because it's 40% all around me. You know what I mean? And then you got Big Fellow and Hassan rolling hard to the rim. So, they ended up blitzing tonight. Some teams, Dallas kind of did the same thing, wasn't as aggressive of a blitz, but just finding ways to pick apart the offense, and not just myself as a group. JC made a hell of a play where he found House in the corner. Just continuing. I forgot who found Boyan for a 3. Mike was, right? Like, it's a group effort, and I think that's why it feels light, because it's like, there's a trust in all of us. And I think that tonight, it showed tonight.
Looked like in the first quarter, maybe you got hit or something on just like you weren't moving out.
Came down and chased down ball.
Yeah. It was actually right before that. I had tried to, they blitzed me and they stepped on my foot and I yanked my foot away, but I couldn't move it, so it was stuck there. And that was one of those mistakes where it was hurt. And then I ran down and tried to block the shot and came down. And it was just one of those moments where it was a little, especially through the second quarter, I could really feel it. But once I got to halftime, I warmed it back up. We're fine.
Did you think that bank inquiry was gonna go in?
Yeah, I didn't plan on using the glass, but the angle I took, I kind of got farther than I wanted to. I'm too close to the sideline. And credit to McHale, he kept me pinned. So my only option was to use the backboard and kind of get to that spot. But my intention wasn't to get too far over to the sideline, but he did a good job in keeping me there and made the shot.
Donovan, look at your game. Everybody's talking about how relaxed you are. Many people make comparisons to this game. Make a comparison with everybody that I talk to at the scene, always the Dwayne Wade comparison. I met you at Dwayne Wade's stage some years ago. Do you accept that challenge, or do you accept those comparisons? Do you see it, or do you see something else?
Yeah, never gonna, everybody is different. I'm not gonna just be like that, like Dwayne. I think the biggest thing when I say that, obviously accomplishments, I love to, accomplish 3 chips, all NBA, all defensive team, all that stuff. But for me, having a guy like that, where we're similar in that way, and having him as the owner of the team, being able to be a phone call away, it allows me to kind of do similar things, allow me to study under him. And, you saw me at the space party when it started. Before that, it was at the, what's it called? His invitation is camp. And just kind of learning some different things, splitting traps, doing all the things that you see me do out there. And, a lot of it's relatable, but in the same right, and he would agree, like I'm trying to make my own lane as well. You know what I mean? Trying to be myself, and, finding ways to be better, and ultimately I shoot better than him, and I tell him all the time because he can't shoot. But he did pretty well for a guy who can't shoot. So just for myself, man, just trying to create my own lane, but also using that, like he's my big brother, using that, to help me propel me to get to where I want to get to, be the best player I can be. I'm humble. humbled and I'm blessed, you know, to be able to have that, you know, if you were told me when I was a kid that would be the case, you know, I wouldn't believe you, but in the same token, you know, he's always finding ways to push me, you know, I'm always going to push myself and, you know, I'm appreciative of that comparison for sure.
How's Daniel finished the game on Booker's night? He closed out the game, and usually that's Royce in that spot. Is that? I mean, obviously there are egos, but like, is that difficult to kind of set that aside and be like, he's the one that's got it?
Nah, you look at Royce after he's as excited as anybody. You know, I think that's what makes this team so special. That's what makes this group special. Excuse me, because it can definitely be like I'm just gonna sit and pout, you know, and Royce didn't do that. He played well, you know, it wasn't like he was playing, you know, terribly or anything, but you know, sometimes you just stick with what's working, and that happens. And you know, that was tonight, you know, and then we play Houston, and maybe a different story. We play down the line Milwaukee, whoever, maybe a different story. But you know, tonight that was what we did, and you know, that's what makes this group special. Because if we want to win, ultimately you got to put the egos aside and find ways to compete, and find ways to do what's working. And we all trust the staff, we trust in each other. And he was probably one of the most supportive guys after the win, you know, so that tells you everything you need to know about Royce ONeil and who he is.
What's the challenge for you guys now that you got these two? You got Houston.
We can't let up against Houston. We can't let up, like, we can't.
What's the challenge for that, specifically because you guys haven't done well with that part this year?
Well, because, you know, the biggest thing is just how do we respond on Tuesday, whatever the day is. Like, what are we going to do? You know, we beat us, we beat them. You know, they're always young and hungry, you know, talented guys over there. We're like, what are we going to do? We're going to come out, you know, thinking we figured everything out, won a championship, or are we going to go out there and continue to keep our foot on the gas? And I think we will. You know, like I said, it just feels different, but ultimately it's going to be on us to go out there and, you know, find ways to continuously get better. It doesn't matter who we play. Doesn't matter what night it is, every night, you know, we're going to get everybody's best shot. So we got to go out there and do it. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.